I'm getting ready to make plum juice today, which also means I'm making plum butter and plum jelly. So kind of fun that I have so many things that I can do from just this one thing. So what I'll do first is fill up the bottom of my juicer with water to, about an inch below where the nozzle would go. This is a steam juicer and it works so wonderfully for plums. And then I'll put on my second section, which this is where the juice will collect. The only thing I have to pay attention to is I have to make sure that the juice doesn't get above this point. Otherwise, it'll go through the hole and end up going in with the water. So that wouldn't be a good situation. I always double check to make sure that my clamp is on and on well. If it's too close to the end, sometimes there'll be a little opening, and then as it's going, you'll actually start spilling juice out. This basket is actually where I'll put my fruit. Now, if I was just doing this for juice and wasn't worried about making anything else out of it, I would just fill it up with my plums, place it on, and get it on the stove. My plum butter recipe calls for 6 pounds, so that's all I'll do for this one. And then I'll place this on the stove and bring that water on the bottom to a boil. As it boils, the steam goes up and into the fruit, which causes it to lose its juice, which goes down and gets collected in the middle. Because this will be cooking for anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, I need to monitor the water that's in the bottom and make sure that it doesn't run out. Now that the juice is done, I'll add it to a pot. I do that by just having it a little bit elevated. I usually actually have this on the stove, and I have a stool that's in front, and I have my pan on that. But so that you can see, I wanted to do it here. You do need to have that gravity difference in order to get it to come out though. My juice is quite warm at this point, usually around 180 degrees, but I actually want to get it up to 190 and hold it there for 5 minutes. Now that I've gotten it up to 190 degrees, I'll set my 5-minute timer. I'll fill my quart-sized jars up to 1/4 of an inch of headspace, which is the space from the top of the food to the top of the jar. Now you can put sugar in this if you want to, because it is quite tart. When I do, I put in about 1/4 of a cup for every jar. Most of the time I like to leave it without any sugar in it, because then when I go to use it, I can add sugar if I want to, or I have the option to use it to make jelly later. I wipe the lids with a clean damp cloth so that if anything got on the edge, that it won't interfere with the seal. And then I'll place my lids and rings on until they're fingertip tight. I use the Superb canning lids, which have this blue squishy seal, which is amazing. It actually does a really good job of adhering to my jars. I have a link as well as a 20% off discount code in my description below. So I place those on fingertip tight, and then I place it in my boiling water bath, submerged by about 1 inch of water, and process them for 15 minutes if I'm at sea level. I'm at 1,200 feet, so I'll process them for 20. But I won't start my timer until after it begins to boil. Now that the timer's gone off, I'll remove the lid, turn off the heat, and let it cool for 5 minutes. I remove the jars from the canner and place them on a heat-resistant surface about 1 to 2 inches apart so that they can cool down quickly. I'll leave them there for 24 hours so that they can get a good seal. I can tell that they have a good seal if the center of the lid has depressed down. If it has, then I remove the ring, wash off the outside with hot soapy water, and store them in a cool, dry, dark location like my pantry, and use them in the next 1 to 3 years. If I have any that don't seal, I'll place them in the refrigerator and use them right away.